Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. Recently, I just shot a wedding about 2 weeks ago with my trusty D7000, or so I thought trusty. For a while, I've really loved this camera, and I still do. And the reason why I say kinda it's not trusty is the church for the wedding obviously was a low lighting situation, and I felt that this performed not as well as I wanted it to, not what the price justifies it for. I know it's not a full frame camera, it's still a DX crop sensor, but I felt I should have got more out of what I was looking for. Now, before I kind of narrowed it down to the point where I thought it was the camera, I looked at my lenses. I was getting great images from my Nikon 17 to 55, the Nikon 50 and 85, 1 and 8 and 1.4s, and when it came to another lens, this would be my long telephoto lens. I thought maybe that this was the answer. So I was bringing out my Sigma 70 to 200. It's the version 1, and that's when I started noticing I wasn't getting great pictures, and I was just very disappointed on what was happening. So I'm like, okay, maybe it was the Sigma that was messing up. Maybe I am getting restricted by the lenses that I have. So I was debating, do I get a Nikon 70 to 200? And I'm like, hey, no, I wish, but no, because that is way too much freaking money. Definitely can't afford that. So I was like, you know what? Maybe the newer Nikon 80 to 200 2.8 is a better option. So that mentality's been going on for a while before this wedding even hit, and I was finally presented with the chance to be able to take. This is the version 1 of the Nikon 80 to 200, but I was able to get my hands on it for literally 5 minutes. So I couldn't do much with it. I couldn't do the full out test that I wanted, but I can give you a quick pros cons about each lens just from sight. You can see this one, and I have a couple pictures that I'll run by you, and they're just a raw file, so I've barely even touched them. But yeah, so I'm very wary now to bring this out in low light over about 1600 ISO. It makes for okay black and whites, but you don't want to be shooting a wedding all black and whites. So if you have a D7000, maybe keep that in mind. So recently, I thought it'd be a great segue into making a video about another lens comparison review, and this is something that I was looking for as well, as I said, for the last couple of months. So I did it. Sigma 70 to 200 2.8, the version 1. Got it for a very great price about last year, and I couldn't beat it. Quick things, it's got a very nice build. It's very professional build. It's got a nice weight to it. A little heavy. Not a lot of people say that it's heavy, but I firmly disagree. I've held both the 7200, the 8200, and this is one of the heaviest damn lenses I've felt. So highly disagree with anyone. Yeah, great build. The zoom rings work perfectly. The focus ring is perfect. Yeah, it's just I don't know. That's the one thing. Does the lower price, does the Sigma justify not getting the Nikon? So I was holding the Nikon 80 to 200. Much lesser weight, very easy to hold. You don't struggle as much when you're zoomed in at 200. Because when you're zoomed out at about 70 or 80, you have more control. It doesn't, you don't have to so much worry about a faster shutter speed. But when you're at 200, it gets pretty heavy. So the 8200 definitely a little lighter. And from looking at these pictures, which I'm going to show you in a minute, just a kind of quick thing, I feel like the Nikon performed great at RAW, and it's a little more crisp than the Sigma. And does it justify spending a couple hundred extra dollars? I don't know. Trust me, I would ultimately want to get the 70 to 200 and go full frame, but don't see that happening right now with the D800 being 3K. And one thing that I need is the battery grip, and that's $450. Nikon, what are you thinking? Drop that battery grip down, and maybe you'll get my business. Quick review. Okay, so I said I didn't have that many opportunities to go into what I wanted. So I have this right now is the Sigma 70 to 200, and it's just a portrait of fellow photographer. And this was, let's see what this was taken at. I can I can open this up. This was taken at f2.8, 1/200th of a second at ISO 100. So I was just kind of getting a base reading here. So overall, I felt, it brings out pretty nice color. Not that bad. Great bokeh. And it's focus tack sharp on, right around here. Going down to the next one, which I felt was way more sharp. Definitely a much better color rendition. And it was actually a little sharper overall, and it didn't blow out the red jacket. This is the Nikon 80-200. And I was actually around the same settings. This was at 1/160th of a second, f2.8, ISO 100. I did have to touch up the Sigma just a little bit, just give it more exposure because it was darker. Almost shot at the same settings. So overall, I think the Bokeh looks great. It looks way better compared to this, where you just see its glimpses of it being blurred out. How much do you want to see it blown out? That's your call, but it's just so much more crisp, so much more clear. It's not washed out. It's crisp, tack sharp. It's really, really nice. It has kind of, came to me to where, maybe I should do something like that. So then I was like, all right, my problem is I need ISO. And once again, I didn't have that long with it, and I don't know if I'll be able to get my hands on it again. But I'll just kind of open up the raw file and just show you, what you're kind of getting. This is the Nikon 80-200 at 80 millimeters with lights almost off in this one editing suite we have at my school. ISO 2000, 1/80th of a second. So just you can kind of crop in so maybe you can see the noise. It's not that... for what I was presented with in the church when I was doing a wedding, it's not the same thing. I was getting something decent here, something usable. For color, it wouldn't be that bad. But it kind of shows. But a 2000 ISO, the D7000 should not be doing that. But between both of these, I thought that they performed really well. Inside, I think it was about the same. So it's just, I guess, whatever looking for. Kind of looking at it, looks like the Sigma definitely has a little more grain than the Nikon version, but overall, I think that the Nikon is way more tack sharp. It's got a little better rendition. Maybe that's the way I should go. But does this still hold me back? I'm not sure. Overall, trust me, I've loved this Sigma lens just because it's, I got a great price. Should still have some decent resale value, but probably is time to upgrade. Do I think I can financially do it right now? Nope. But it would be great to, upgrade maybe to the 80-200 for time being and try to figure out how to go full frame because I feel that I'm being limited in regards to that. But the Sigma overall is not bad. Once again, you kind of get what you pay for. The focus is on right here, but it's a little grainier. And the Nikon is just, look at that, it's just tack sharp. I know that's a little closer, but overall, I must say that I feel the Nikon 80-200, even the version 1, is a really great lens over the Sigma 70-200. But for the price, I would guess why not. But for now, I'm really debating on what I'm doing next. Well, guys, I hope that helps. It's between the 80-200 Nikon and the Sigma 70-200. And if you guys can, please subscribe to my channel. Like my videos, check them out. Let me know what you think. And this would be Eric Rossi 25, so look me up. And yeah, definitely leave me comments below. And maybe if I can get my hands on that lens again, I could do a full in-depth review. Overall, both had great builds. Sigma's a little bit better of a build, but Nikon, I think, way outperformed the Sigma. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. Take it easy.